Hi, John.
Hey, Olena, how are you?
Good. I'm very excited to have you join us just recently as part of Klevu team. So welcome on board.
Thank you. Super exciting to be here. Seems like quite a while since we first started talking, but it's great to be on board. Really excited.
Awesome. Well, I think for everyone who maybe haven't met you yet, it would be great if you do a bit of intro around yourself and also what role are you joining in at Klevu?
Cool. All right, I'll go about myself first. I've been around SaaS for a while. I actually joined my first SaaS company in 2000, which SaaS was kind of like weird and not many people did it back in those days. And
True.
this is one of the first companies that I suppose utilized the cloud to do stuff, which was big in 2000. And it's a company called Message Labs. They did email security in the cloud, and it grew from nothing to about 70, 80 million turnover in 6 or 7 years, and was eventually sold to Symantec for bundles of cash. So that was an amazing role, doing a lot of different things in finance. I'm originally a chartered accountant, helping a business grow and just getting over a lot of hurdles, sort of, I suppose culturally, the business went from one country to 5 or 6, financially, lots of different entities globally, processes and controls. When you've got 3 people in a room, you can do what you like. When you've got 300 people globally,
Yeah.
requires a little bit more caution, shall we say. So I had a great time at Message Labs. Since then, I joined a business in 2012 called Dimark, which was a SaaS messaging business. I actually invested in that business as well. I was in there as Chief Financial and Operating Officer. They provided messaging solutions to retailers and banks and the like. We took that business from around 4 million to around 11 million turnover. Grew it.
Sounds impressive.
It was okay. We did a half decent job. We had new products which were developed in the course of the first couple of years, and then new channels. So built a whole sort of channel partnership strategy with that business, which was a bit of a copy of the Message Labs channel strategy actually, but worked really well with channel partners coming in, selling on the services at pretty low cost of acquisition for us. That was really successful. We ultimately sold the business to Dots Digital, who are friends of Klevu, I believe, in 2017. It was a great transaction for Dimark's shareholders. Since then, I had a year and a bit at a company called Skimlinks that worked in the sort of marketing ecosystem, in affiliate marketings. And basically, again, I joined that business as Chief Financial and Operating Officer and helped them a lot with their processes, helped them build out, better ways of managing and paying people, bluntly. But also help that business towards an exit for its shareholders in earlier this year. So in May 2020, successfully managed the exit of Skimlinks to a US buyer, which was a great transaction delivered through COVID, and which was great. Lots of fears at the start of COVID that would never happen. But interesting to be a part of a business that actually managed to accelerate growth through that incredible period of uncertainty. So that was great. I come into Klevu as Chief Financial and Operating Officer. I guess my main responsibilities would be really looking at the processes and systems of the business, and whether or not we can scale. So this is all about scaling Klevu and taking us from 5 million annualized revenues to 100 million, which would be great. But clearly a lot of work to go from here to there, and a lot of things to change, which is why I think I find it quite an exciting and interesting challenge for me.
Absolutely. And I think an interesting challenge for us in this was that this was the first process fully executed remotely. So we've never met. You've never met anyone else.
Yeah.
This was fully following social distancing rules, which is, yeah, very, very interesting and new thing for us. I'd imagine for yourself probably as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's been it presents challenges and opportunities, I suppose. I never thought I'd be joining a new business having never met anybody. But I guess, having seen having lived through the early stages of COVID with a business that managed to um, just really pivot really well.
Yeah.
All employees working at home. It worked seamlessly, beautifully, and we managed to grow that business. But, going through this process, it's just feels a bit like a continuation of something that's actually been quite positive from I guess a business and sort of personal standpoint for me. So, it would be nice to meet you guys at some point in the not too distant future. But I think, it's been pretty good so far.
Why did you join Klevu? I mean, you've sounded like you have a couple of amazing companies you went through. So, what attracted you here in terms of opportunity and company?
There's a number of things with Klevu. I think they've got good tech, great tech. You do your research on the tech, and everyone will tell you that Klevu's search solution is second to none. So I think that's a great start. Great start for the story is a really, really good product.
Yeah.
They've had multiple years of 50% plus revenue growth, which is great. It's great to be joining a business that has that momentum. They're clearly doing something right.
Yeah.
It has great people. I've met you, I've met Nile, I've met Raj and some of the other guys, and there's really great people in the business, and that's really important for me because I am although I'm a bit of a financey and numbers person, I do like people as well, which is rather surprising. So working with great people it makes the job easier and it makes it more of a pleasure. So there's a number of factors that come together with Klevu, and I think the challenges that I see in the business around scalability and process and systems are, I guess, are challenges that are familiar to me. So I know I can come in, I can do a good job. So it's a nice feeling knowing, there's tons and tons to do. And it's not going to be easy to go from where we are today to where we'd like to get to. But I think, that sort of, that road is a kind of road I've been down before, and hence the challenges are not in my mind insurmountable. Take them off in bite-sized chunks over the next 6 months to 2 years, and we're good. We can grow with scale.
Well, that sounds amazing. What do you do apart from work? Your hobbies?
Apart from work, nothing, Olena. I work all the time. Of course.
We all do at Klevu, but just in case you have something.
In case there's any spare time. Well, I have 4 daughters who
it's a lot of daughters.
It's a lot of daughters. That's a lot of females to deal with, ranging from 19 to 13. So it's a lot of teenage daughters as well as having a lot of daughters. So that presents me with just the right amount of personal challenges, shall we say. That's great. So I spend quite a bit of time with them when I'm not here. I like to to really just find my kind of like John space. I like to go cycling, so I'll just get on the bike and just head off somewhere and keep cycling until I feel very tired, and then probably require somebody to come pick me up to bring me back. So cycling is my thing, and I suppose still play the occasional game of football, still thinking that I might be called up for the national team, even though I'm approaching 50. So,
what's your favorite team you support?
My favorite team is my hometown team, Sheffield United. So who are
Okay.
actually doing rather well. They got promoted to the Premiership the year before, and
Yeah.
are doing incredibly well. I've supported them all my life, and for most of that period, it has been one of sadness and sorrow supporting a team that never delivers anything. So finding somebody that delivers something over the last year has just been quite bizarre, really. It's
Congratulations.
unexpected happiness from a source you just would never normally happen. So Sheffield United, my hometown. I'm born in Sheffield, so in the north.
Last one, good last book that you've read that, business or not business related.
Good last thing. It's probably not business related. I'll get well. There is one that's business related actually that I will talk about briefly. But I probably read more fiction really, to be honest. So I reread recently the Day of the Jackal by Frederick Forsyth, which is like a work of art from the 1960s era, and it just never ages. I guess it's set in the time period anyway, but it never ages, and it's quite a complex story, and it's just a little bit cool. It's just got little cool edges with cool people and cool characters, and it's kind of like really it reaches out to me, I think.
Good. I'll have that to put on my kind of reading list. I've actually never heard of it. So
the business book of choice. I'm just seeing if I can see it in my immediate surroundings. Hang on, but the 4 disciplines of execution is something I reread again most recently, which is something that was quite dear to my heart at Skimling. So this is about how you can execute and how you get stuff done. So in an effective manner that actually scales out across teams. So sort of relevant to what we're trying to achieve here.
Absolutely.
But getting stuff done and focusing on what needs to be done, as opposed to trying to do everything, which would most likely lead to not doing anything. So.
Well, sounds good. Thank you so much for your time. And again, are absolutely excited to have you. Thanks.
It's my pleasure. It's great to join. It's good to see you again. And as I say, at some point, we should all meet up in London, and that would be super
Absolutely.
cool. All right. Thank you.